Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. What's up? Hey yo. It's good to see y'all today. It's good to see y'all on a Tuesday, man. I love it. I love it. Look, I'm not your host tonight. I just have the distinct honor and pleasure of welcoming you guys to the We Are Not Okay Youth Town Hall. Y'all, it's about to get crazy. Go get your popcorn. Go get whatever you drinking on. Go get your cousins. Go get your mommy, your daddy. Come and have this real conversation. Young people are going to be discussing any and everything around this pandemic, around COVID, health and well-being, mental health. Y'all know that's the topic. And also talking about this vaccine. And look, y'all, who at the top of the list? Y'all know I can't do the normal and go all the way down the list because this ain't my show. But Mr. Elaborate, how y'all let Mr. Elaborator get the top spot? But what's up, Mr. Elaborator? Breathing that fresh air. I welcome all of you guys here. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here. Y'all got some great hosts. Let's get them on here real quick. Y'all already know. There she go. There she go. Jiva, what's up?
What's up?
Look, I see everybody but your ride or die. Where he at? I
I don't know
see
where
everybody
yet.
but your ride or die. How you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm excited. The vaccine meeting, I feel like that kind of like started my day. So like I'm just ready to talk about these questions that I have for y'all. Woo! It's
I
so
know that's right.
I'm excited.
I know that's right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, you know what? I'm gonna let you do your thing. I think he might have just popped on. Hold up. Is it true? Somebody say y'all giving away $100 today.
We definitely giving away $100, but Miss Joni, they acting like they don't want it.
Hold up.
I promise you, I don't see nobody in the tag. I don't see nobody using the hashtag. And I've been seeing people repost, but we asked y'all to use that hashtag, and I don't see nobody on there but Elder. So
Hold up, not Elder. What's
True.
up, James? How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. How you feeling?
I feel like so. Look, y'all gotta tell me what to do because I might just get myself the $100. So what exactly do you gotta do?
So the whole point of the hashtag was for people when people do the promotional purposes, they use the hashtag, and the more people you get to come, the better chance you have of winning $100.
Bet. Let me go grab my 100. All right. Y'all let me know what y'all need. I got y'all guests all lined up. When y'all ready for them to come on, y'all just let me know. But other than that, I'll see y'all at the end of this thing.
I got you. All right, thank you.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So I'm going to introduce myself first. My name is Gemma Chester. I'm a youth advocate and leader, as well as a higher ambassador, a heartbeat, and just like all around lovely person. And I'm excited to be your host for tonight, hosting along with James. And we got some good topics for y'all.
How y'all doing? My name is James Gaither. I am 19, and I'm also the CEO and founder of the digital art business, Central Creativity, where I make flyers, logos, anything I'm good choice. And I'm just here to let people get the word out about the vaccine and COVID, hosting alongside my friend Gemma, and we just get this get this ball rolling.
Yes, Ms. Joni, you can let the other panelists on if they're here.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. So y'all could just please, one by one, introduce yourselves and just give a little bit about your background and your profession or what organization you are from, and we're gonna get right.
I can start. Okay. Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Mo here. So I am a internal medicine and pediatrics, I mean adults and kids doctor at Johns Hopkins, and I've been with Heart Smiles for the past 3 years as a youth mentor, and I'm just happy to be here and excited to have this conversation with you guys.
Hey guys, I'll go next. My name is Mario Majette. I am a family physician and preventive medicine physician at University of Maryland. Also medical director of student health at the University of Maryland grad school in Baltimore.
I'll go next. I am very honored to be here, and I want to thank you both for inviting us. And we're very excited to hear from our community and all the young people. And we're certainly looking forward to hopefully having some thoughts for you. I also want to tell you that Dr. Majette, who is very modest, is actually in charge of all COVID for our department and for much of the campus. So I'm sure he's going to have a lot to share with us. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. I see a lot of my friends saying hey in chat, so hey. My name is Nia Jones. I am the Youth and College Division Director for the Black Mental Health Alliance. And I had the amazing privilege to train the last 2 HYA cohorts. So I can't wait to hear what you all have learned. I'm also a licensed social worker here in Maryland. And I own On Purpose with Nia, which is a boutique consulting company where we focus on mental health and wellness experiences for the individual as well as the group. So I'm excited to get started.
Hi, everyone. I'm Deanna. I am a pharmacist, and I'm also a faculty member at the University of Maryland School of Pharmacy. Excited to be here.
I think I'm last, Margot DeVoe, and I work with the Department of Family and Community Medicine with Dr. Khanna and Dr. Majette. Happy to be here and excited to talk to everyone.
I believe we have 2 more people that didn't introduce themselves. If I'm wrong, then we can just move on. But I want everybody to introduce themselves.
I think Dr. Kaysen is here. Dr. Kaysen, can you turn your video on, please?
Sorry, I don't have a working camera. I'm just on my cell phone. I'm a family physician. Used to be at the downtown campus. Currently in between jobs, and will be a faculty physician at Capital Region, serving Prince George's County.
Well, if that's it for introductions, thank you all for being here. I'm excited that you all came out. I'm grateful that you all are here and well. I hope everything is well. But we're just going to get straight into the topics. So for our first topic, we're going to be talking about how the pandemic has affected the use of mental and physical health. So I want y'all in the comments, I want y'all to drop some experiences y'all had, some things that y'all have realized have changed within yourselves, physically or mentally. And while y'all doing that, me and James are going to share some of our personal experiences as well.
I guess I'll start us off. I have been working with some partners to build the excitement about the fact that we are opening, that we should soon be having a relaxation of our masking, and that we're expecting schools to open this fall. And I've actually been working with some child psychiatrists and pediatricians and others, and trying to see what is it that we should be thinking when the schools start to open and youth have to go back to school. What's on their mind? So I'm actually here to listen to all of you. Tell us what you did during COVID and how you feel, what you need from us going forward, and what do you need to get back to school safely?
Definitely, I agree. You made some really good points. I'm going to point out some stuff in the chat. I know Cam said that it's been more of a mental challenge instead of a physical one for her, and that's definitely the same thing for me, and it's different for everybody. But mentally, I feel like I'm on like a meal plan. Like, I'm here this day, instead I'm doing the same routine over and over again. And it's really draining and tiring, and it really just pulls everything out of me, even if I feel like I'm not doing anything. And like sometimes I know parents will be like, well, you're not in school, you're not doing nothing. It's just like you laying around all day. But like it really does take effect on your mental, from me going to waking up every morning at 5 in the morning and catching a bus, going to school, seeing my friends, to waking up whatever time I felt like it, doing my work on my time without anybody behind me pushing me the door like, hey, you got this assignment due. Just like so much was pushed on us. Like, yes, school was virtual. So some people might feel like it was a lighter workload. But honestly, I felt like a lot of kids had to step up and be responsible for their own school and education. Like, yes, we talk to our teachers virtually. We see them on the screens, they're assigned to work. But it's up to us if we feel like we have the discipline within ourselves to really push ourselves and do the work. So I think that was definitely one of the most challenging things for me and my peers and the people that are around me and me just personally.
Anybody else want to go?
I want to add to that. I'm sorry, James. I think that because I think that's a really good point. One of the things I think hopefully that all of our young folks can learn from this is this is kind of one of the things you're going to have to face when you kind of get out of high school. You know, right now you have your parents behind you, you have your family behind you, which are kind of pushing you, saying, hey, you know, complete that assignment, get up, go to class, all the stuff you have to do, you know. But in a few years, you guys will be doing this on your own. And so although it's a tough lesson, one way to look at it is that is a good early lesson, because once you graduate and hopefully the ones that are going off to school, that's exactly how it's going to be. The professors aren't going to follow up with you. You either turn your assignment in or you don't. You either pass your class or you fail it. You're going to be paying for it, or someone's going to be paying for it. So it's really going to be up to you. So I want to add that in there because I know it's been tough on you guys, but I want to look at it from the opposite side. I think that's a good learning lesson that you can take from that.
Definitely. Because even me experienced going to college like in the middle of the pandemic, it was actually very, 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 very hard because I'm more of a visual person. I like to see things in person. Like I had to touch them to feel them in order for my mind to grasp what I'm doing. And me doing that, college wasn't, I could say at that time, college wasn't the best thing for me mentally because it was messing with my state of mind. It was messing with like the way I was operating through life. It was mainly focused on, I have to get things done for school this, school that, but I wasn't taking care of myself in the midst of that. And that's when I was like, if school is the reason that I'm like not focusing on myself and my own mental health more, then it has to go. And that's when I decided to even stop going to college after my first semester because of the simple fact of how my mental health was being affected while I was in school. So yeah.
I think that's another good lesson there, James. You know, we're all learning about ourselves, and things like pandemics and things that really stress us force us to look at ourselves sometimes differently. And one of the things that you're kind of pointing out is, you know, you are learning how you learn. And so one that's going to be important for you going forward is just to kind of keep that in mind and understand that, hey, if you're not someone that is going to learn just from sitting down and reading a book from cover to cover, but you're going to learn more from experience, then you want to kind of focus your future education in that area so that you are in an environment that's going to help you to learn as much as you can, as opposed to going to somewhere to a certain university that is just more kind of cerebral, more academic, where all they're going to do is lecture to you. So that's important. It's an important lesson to learn. Please don't give up on college. I don't think you are, but I just want to put that out there too. This is just a break. This is not, you're not done.
Yeah, this is definitely just a break. I wanted to get back to myself first and put myself in a better environment for me to go and actually enjoy school and want to be there instead of me pushing myself to be like, I have to be here. No, that I'm here because I want to be.
Yeah. I think that's a very mature approach. I have actually one of my godsons did this exact same thing. He went the first semester. It just wasn't for him, and he's decided to sit out the second semester. You know, but so same thing. You're not in the boat by yourself, and again, you're learning about yourself. And when you go back, you're going to be just a lot stronger, a better student, I'm sure, because of your experience.
So I'm actually reading the chat, and a lot of people have been feeling very down from being isolated at home. People started high school during the pandemic. Someone is saying middle schoolers were falling behind. I think we have to recognize how hard it's been for all of us, especially for children who are going through transitions, high school, middle school, and this is very difficult stuff. And also, I think a lot of people are mentioning that, and I can just imagine what it's like to be cooped up in a house with your parents 24/7 as a child. You need time to grow, you need time to explore new things, and of course, some of you, I think, have turned it around to be positive. So I almost think we should be hearing from both ends, hearing from those who were able to create a positive environment, and also think about what is it about COVID that made you a different kind of person coming out. I mean, it's been a year. A year is a long time. I can tell you for sure that for me at home, I had to have a lot of discipline, get up in the morning, same time, get to my study downstairs, and then just work through the day. Just very, very difficult. So love to hear from others on how it was for you.
Definitely. I feel like I'm a good representation of that because who I am now is not who I was a year ago. Joining Heart Smiles almost about 6-7 months ago, it really changed my whole perspective on the pandemic. And I feel like I'm almost close to my best right now. And the pandemic, it forced me to make the best out of my time with being home. I was not doing this youth advocacy work. I was to myself, I was quiet. I don't have as many friends as I have now. It's just like, it pushed me to do a lot more, to realize my potential. I started painting all the time. I have my own painting business now. I have a partner business with a good friend of mine where we do cleaning and organization and so much more with homes. And it's just like, I have really made the best, I feel like, out of this pandemic with what I could have ended up as, or what I could have used my time for, instead of the positive things that I'm doing now. But I know definitely living with 2 middle schoolers, I have 2 younger siblings, a brother and a sister. It's like, I see my little sister just like falling off. I can tell she needs that push for school. And sometimes I can't be there for her because I'm in high school. And it's like one of my toughest years. So being there for my siblings and me, trying to get my parents on board, it's a lot. So I definitely, I agree to disagree with Mr. Reguette, Dr. Reguette. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. But yes, I definitely believe it's good for those who are transitioning into college and who need it. But like elementary kids, like my niece, she can't go to school now. Like, it's just like those younger kids, they really need that motivation, that push, those connections they build in school, making friends. Like, I feel like that's such a valuable part of life that nobody should miss out on.
Definitely. Like that, like being able to, like, as a child, to go and experience, like, getting your schoolwork done and coming home and doing homework, and like being able to like talk to your teachers whenever you need them, and being able to even have conversation with your friends that, oh, can you help me with this, can you help me with that. It's like those things are like valuable points in a child's life, that like it builds character. And when children aren't able to experience that, it's basically like lacking the character traits that they could develop while doing it. So now they have to sit in front of a computer, and it's already bad enough that most kids, phones are glued to their hands. So now we have to sit them in front of a computer and just look at a screen all day, which can mess up their eyes as well. And it's just not like fulfilling for some children. Speaking from the younger family members that I have, it's just not really a good push for them to like get the education they need and also stay focused, because children, they have a short attention span. So them trying to stay focused on one thing is kind of hard, especially when it's virtual. Anybody else want to answer the question?
I'm sorry. I want to put one other suggestion out there for the folks that are still going through this. And obviously, it's not over, so we're going to continue having some of these challenges. Developing a routine is really, really important. It's important for adults, but it's even more important for young people. And I think that's some of the stuff that you guys are already kind of noticing, whether you notice it or are able to identify it or not. You know, school was a routine. It helps you stay on track. Even as adults, when we get off routine, you know, things don't get done. You don't feel quite as satisfied with your life. You don't know what to expect. So sometimes, you know, finding ways to set your own routine in your own life or in your own household will go a long way to get you through some of these difficult times. So that's just one of my suggestions you guys can add to your toolbox when things get a little crazy and until things get better, is try to establish a routine, wake up time, bedtime, study time, you know, time to be with family, times to be with friends, and it really will help.
Yes, I agree. Establishing a routine definitely helped me, and I know it has helped a lot of my friends as well too. And working with Heart Smiles and Miss Joni posting those jewels is like the highlight of my day. And I know like that's the first thing when I open my phone up to, I click on Miss Joni profile, I know her jewel there. Like that's part of my routine, and that kind of gets me started for school. And then I'm like, I got school, and I know during my break I gotta eat to make sure I keep my physical health up. So definitely establishing those routines, and like the little things do matter. You can do the littlest thing, and I promise you, like, it can make a difference because of these hard times that we're going through. But I do want us to move on to the next question so we can get through all these topics. So I just want y'all to drop in the chat what has helped y'all. This is a perfect transition. What has helped y'all through the pandemic? Like, who was supporting y'all? What did y'all do personally to really get y'all through the times where y'all felt like y'all were alone, isolated, all that? I want y'all to drop all the things that y'all did personally.
Hey, Jima, I just want to say something real quick. I just want to give you all a big shout out. And if I could give you a big hug right now, I would. But, you know, it is not easy what you guys have been through this year. And quite honestly, the fact that you are youth and developing and still having all these experiences, getting them torn away from you, this is not easy. And so even us as adults or doctors or whatever else, we can give you all the tools that we use, but actually we didn't experience what you had to experience. And you guys are so strong and resilient for getting through this, for showing up here, talking to us, telling us, teaching us. So I just want to throw that out there, that we have a lot to learn from you all. And what you went through this last year is something that we all need to listen to and learn from.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Because it's like when speaking of the topic of like going to school, like during the pandemic and like me graduating, because I am a 2020 graduate, it's like it was hard to accept the fact that I wasn't gonna be able to get a graduation. My prom was taken away, like farewell and things of that nature. Like I was excited for prom because people that know me, you know, I give what it's supposed to be given. So like it was just like it was hard for me to accept it at first. Like I was definitely upset, like I was angry and everything. But it's like the pandemic was also a kind of time for me to focus on the things that I need to focus on. Like because me at first I was a very social person, so I wasn't used to being by myself. And the pandemic, it definitely taught me that it's okay to sit in the room by yourself and enjoy your own company. And it's okay to not talk to someone every 24/7, like every single day of every single time, every single day. Like it's okay. And that gave me like a sense of power and like independence. Because it was just like, okay, if I'm able to sit and enjoy my own happiness, that's how I know that I've achieved a milestone in my life. So that's one thing the pandemic definitely helped me with. And it also helped me expand my creative abilities. Like I was able to create my own business, my digital art business in the midst of the pandemic, and being able to like gain more of sense of fashion, because that's what I'm into, and gain more sense of like independence and purity and power in the midst of everything. So yeah.
I just wanted to point out some stuff in the chat. A lot of people are saying like they're friends with the people who helped them throughout the pandemic, community, Heart Smiles, Dr. Rowe, therapists. I see a lot of people started a lot of businesses, music. So I really do love what y'all put in the chat. It's definitely relatable, and I'm glad that you all found something to help y'all throughout the tough times during the pandemic. So just to keep us going, we're going to move on to the mental and physical health of youth before the pandemic. I want y'all to tell me what was y'all doing before this? What was affecting y'all mental health before we got to this pandemic? I just want y'all to really dig deep back to the year before we got into this pandemic and tell me what y'all were like. Did y'all feel like y'all improved? Things got worse? Like, let's just touch back on that. Holiday?
Hey, Gemma. Hey, James. Hey, everyone.
Lene, you can do a short, small introduction for yourself if you like.
Okay, hey everyone. My name is Lene Williams. I am also in higher cohort 2 with the, with all these great and lovely people, James and Gemma. And I am also a youth activist in the community, both in Baltimore County and Baltimore City. So that's just a little bit about me. If I may, I think that you all, Dr. Mo hit the nail right on the head, that you all have found the real PPP, right? So we know we were talking about like that personal protective equipment and payback loans and all that stuff, PPP. Y'all found purpose and positives in the pandemic. And so this chat is giving me life because you all are talking about all the good things that have come out of it. We could sit here and in my practice, I talk with clients all the time that have been through some traumatic stuff, right? And we recognize that, we understand it, we give honor to it. But I can't, as a therapist, if I sit with you in the trauma and in the bad stuff every session, are we really getting anywhere? And so recently, in the pandemic, really, I've been really focusing on what are those positives that you all have, that you have been able to get to in the midst of your trauma? What are the positives that you all have been able to get throughout all of this that we all have been through and none of us have ever seen before? And so I am super excited to see young people talking about the positive things that have happened in their lives. Although we give recognition to the yucky stuff, right? We've snatched out of school. Home has been difficult. Internet has been in the ghetto several days, right? But there are other times that you found some really amazing purpose, and I'm excited about
that. Yes, I love y'all really opening up in the chat because I know sometimes it can be hard to really express yourself and just share a part of yourself. So I just want to thank y'all and commend y'all. Like, I am reading y'all comments. I will be going through these and taking notes and relaying it to the professionals that I know because a lot of people want to know how the pandemic has been affecting you. But I just want to ask y'all really questions. And I know that most of y'all on here are a minority or African American. So I want to ask y'all, how does poverty and living as an African American youth affect your access to healthy food or healthcare, or just necessary that you need to function for your mind and your body? Like, how has that affected you during this pandemic? Do you feel like it was less options available, more options available? You feel like it was a push forward? Like, just give me your thoughts on that. I just want to hear about that.
So the question was specifically like, how have I been affected by COVID, like the whole pandemic wise beforehand?
Yes, how has you specifically as an African American, how do you feel about your access to food, to healthcare, the doctor's office? Like, do you have grocery stores near you? Like, how has this affected you? Do you feel like you got more negative influences around you, like not enough access to the things that you need?
For me, it's kind of different because I don't live in certain areas as others who don't have what I have. Personally, I can walk to my grocery store. I can walk to certain stores. I have transportation. The MTA is down the street in walkable distance. So it's kind of different, being African American as well, being Asian. And it's kind of a little bit different now because people are starting to get worse with a lot of like crimes nowadays, because like they aren't used to, like when pandemic was going on, it wasn't a lot of people outside, but now that it's starting to be people outside, people are starting to get more crazier. So it's kind of me being 5'2", walking outside every day to and from places is kind of
hard. So I kind of have to do what I have to do in the midst of COVID, of being socially distanced from people, because you don't know what could also happen. And then also it's like, I also feel as though people who don't have those things, they are having a hard time with food stamps and getting also healthcare, because I don't have those issues. My healthcare and my food is also taken care of. Definitely. I asked that question specifically because over the last summer, I was working with a church who was handing out produce and like fresh fruits and food and frozen chicken, and we had to package it and organize it by family, and there were just a lot of families like up in the village just surrounding me, that in my neighborhood, even friends who I didn't know were having trouble accessing food and didn't have money for it, or didn't have access to certain medicines because stuff was running out, or didn't have toilet paper and paper towels. And what me and that church was doing was we was delivering to those homes specifically who needed it. So seeing those people in need is just why I asked that question, because there were kids who were 6 and 7 coming to the door to pick up the food, and just like to see them going through that was a lot. So that's why I asked that question. And I'm seeing in the chat, like Sydney saying something about the food stamps. I know that the Baltimore City Public Schools, they passed out food stamps to students, for students who didn't have it, and for students who parents were on it, they gave them extra money. And I definitely think that helped, because food is necessary. And with us being in the house 24/7, we're gonna eat more because we're just in here. So you're naturally just gonna be checking the refrigerator all the time. So having that food in there, I think that can definitely make a difference. And making sure that you're intaking the right type of food is important. You can't just sit around eating snacks all day. Eating fruits and healthy meals can have an effect on your emotional output too. It can make you happier if you're eating something that's fueling your body. So that's why I wanted to put that in there, because physical health is just as important as mental health. So what you put in your body for food is extremely important.
I think you are making such a wonderful point that what goes inside comes out. I think so. If you eat well, you take care of your body's needs. And I think that's so important when there's so much disease around us. I mean, there's so many people who've been sick around us, who've been taken to the hospital. So I think it's very, very important. And I really love the positivity in these comments. I mean, this is such an encouraging conversation. So I really want to commend you all for thinking about the positives in your life and really thinking, how can we leverage that to come out of this pandemic stronger at the end of it?
Definitely. Thank you for pointing that out. I love the chat too. Always love the chat. Let's move on to our next topic, though. Probably what everybody is waiting to hear about is the youth's hesitation with the vaccine. So that's what we're going to move on to. And our first question is going to be, what is keeping you from getting the vaccine from a youth perspective? What personally is stopping you from right now scheduling an appointment and going to get it to protect yourself and others? I really want to know, because the people that I'm around, they personally have a kind of a positive outlook on the vaccine, and most of them want to get it. And for me, I know that my parents have some hesitation for me. Like, they don't want me to get it yet. They kind of want to see how it's going to play out. They don't have it. And I know that no one that's like kind of in our immediate family has it either. So I think a lot of people are kind of just waiting to see how it affects people who are close to them. Sometimes you gotta, see auntie get it before you feel like, oh, I feel like it's not going to affect me. So I think a lot of people are waiting on that.
Speaking from personal experiences, I didn't get the vaccine yet. And the reason of being me not getting the vaccine yet, because I was a little hesitant, because I was like, I get sometimes, like, when I take things, my body reacts kind of fast to them, which means that I get sick to like a lot of things like quickly. And when I do that, it's like I try to be like very cautious of like if I had to get a needle, like what needle do I have to give? It's like, is it sterilized, anything of that nature? And once I saw my mother like get her like after her first 2 doses, I was like, okay, so there's a possible chance of me getting the vaccine because my whole thing is like, how will my body react to it? Because my body's not like my mother's or my friends or anybody else that like I have my own body. So like the way that my body reacts to things is the same as others. So I just wanted to be more cautious about what is being taken. Kind of, so yeah.
Okay, for me, it's similar but not the same. Okay, so Dr. Mo, you remember when you was getting your vaccine, you was like showing us. I was so biased and so hesitant to it, y'all. I was like telling everybody, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. It's not even worth it. The government is out to get you. Y'all gonna die. We're gonna turn into zombies. I was that person. Yes, I still kind of am just a little bit. But I got my first dose. I get my second dose on Saturday. Yeah, so I get mine on Saturday, my second one. But I was hesitant really to the fact of how was I going to react? Not like versus sickness, but like how was I going to react towards it? Because my mom, she got hers like the day before me. Like she got her second dose Friday. I get mine Saturday. Because wait, that so confused me. But they, it was kind of like I was shuffled. I'm telling you, I was so shuffled. I didn't want to do it. And then my mom, she got sick off of hers. I was just having arm pain. Like that Pfizer shot had me like literally like I had a crutch in my arm, and I didn't like it. But I definitely tell people, and that's like my friends, don't get it if you don't want to. Like don't really get it if you don't want to.
If the requirement was taken out, maybe then the speaker could just try again the normal way.
But if you also want to get it, you can get it. Like I do. I'm pushing my friend right now to get hers. I'm convincing her. I really am. I'm convincing her to get hers. And I got mine because oh my gosh, that's like.
Thanks, Marie. We're working on it with the speaker right now. So, but we should get
somebody unmuted.
Someone's unmuted.
Everybody could just hold on.
Behind the scenes.
If anyone is unmuted, can you mute yourself, please?
Yeah. So then what was I trying to say, y'all? I had got so confused just now. But I'm convincing her to do it. That's going great. And I'm getting my second dose. I can't wait for that. And the reason I got it, that's the part where I got lost at. The reason I'm getting it is because I'm going out of town. I'm going to a different state. If I wasn't going to a different state and I wasn't going out of town and I wasn't about to be around a lot of relatives and a lot of people, then that would have like switched my mind. But yes, I prefer people to get it. If you want it, don't force yourself just because everyone else is getting it.
I definitely agree with some of the people in the comments. The hesitation was definitely real. And Nate, what you said, like the government was out to get me. I definitely feel what you were saying on that. Like I ain't believe like the tracking device thing or nothing, but like the hesitation with anything the government has to do with is always there. Being a minority and just a youth in general, living in Baltimore City with the violence and as many things was going on during the pandemic, the Black Lives Matter movement, and just all these other things that played a part into our mental health and problems during the pandemic. I definitely had hesitation about a vaccine that just came out so quickly. But what really helped me was learning more about it. I worked with Johns Hopkins, the youth vaccine team, and they taught us about the vaccine, what it is. I learned about it in school with my chemistry teacher. They broke it down, even though I'm not the best in chemistry or biology. They broke it down into a way that I understood it, and I felt like I would be okay with getting it. Like regardless of the government hesitation, I felt like the healthcare field was supporting me and reaching out to youth and really trying to educate us about what this vaccine was, what COVID was, because I didn't know what it was. I've never even had the flu. I've never gotten a flu shot. So like certain things I just didn't have exposure to. So I was just like, what is going on? Is it even real? So definitely having that education about it, having professionals from different backgrounds talk to me about it and explain it to me was really helpful. And now working with a actual vaccine team and helping promote youth to get the vaccine and trying to get information out there to young adults is it has taught me a lot. And I think that having more things like this, where we talk to professionals who work hand in hand with COVID every day and in the healthcare system, is important, that they talk to youth and build these transparent bonds, because youth are curious. We are a curious generation. Like, we want to know everything. We got activists on top of activists and just leaders and advocates and everywhere. So we just want to be filled with information. And I think that a lot of adults should take advantage of that. Like, a lot of us want to learn. So reach out to youth, getting out to us as much as you can and teaching us as much as you can is so important, because we soak up so much. And I think youth learning about the vaccine and what COVID is can really help push to people getting the vaccine. Hey, Shalom.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
Hi.
Hi, Dr. Mo.
We doing good, brother. Just give yourself a short introduction so we can know who you is and what you flowing with.
I got you. My name's Shalad Johnson. I'm 19 years old. I'm a sophomore at Shawan University. I'm a Hearts and Miles Heartbeat, and I'm a Healing Youth Alliance Ambassador Cohort 2. And the founder of Mentoring Through Basketball Changing Lives, where I mentor youth through the sport of basketball.
I know Lene probably gonna want to touch on this. I don't know if she know about it, but I definitely wanted to talk about the history of distrust within the medical field and African Americans. So like things like the Tuskegee experiment, the immortal life of Henrietta Lacks, where they stole her cells, and with the Tuskegee experiment, black men were like coerced into just giving up their bodies for experiments, and they thought that they were receiving health care. So I definitely think like things like that. And I was on a call not too long ago where I heard a lot of youth saying like they don't call the police. When they call for the ambulance or 911 and assistance like that, they don't get to them quick enough. People lose their lives because of this, because of the neighborhoods that they live in. Ambulances don't want to come out there quick enough. So I definitely think that things like that play a role. I know a lot of youth, including myself, don't have healthcare. Well, I do have now. But like over the pandemic, I didn't have healthcare for a long time. I didn't. So not having healthcare and not knowing I didn't have it is kind of like when you don't see the doctor regularly, you don't have that bond with medical officials. So I don't remember my doctor. I haven't seen her since, I don't know, but it was when I was little. So not seeing my doctor until recently is kind of just like, I don't know you, lady. And you just want to do all these checkups on me and try to tell me all this stuff. So I definitely think that youth having access to healthcare and not having access to healthcare can definitely make them have a different outlook on the vaccine and COVID in general. So Lene, Shalom.
I can basically touch on that real quick about like healthcare and stuff. My uncle basically taught me that, when I basically get older, you gotta get like life insurance and stuff like that. And I never knew nothing about getting my own life insurance, and I gotta pay my life insurance and health insurance, stuff like that. But thank my dad, he basically took life insurance out of me and everybody else, my sisters and stuff. But like, I still don't know how to do like the regular check-ins with my doctor and stuff like that. Like I don't know exactly what to say when I make a phone call and stuff. Be like, oh yeah, I'm 19 now, so I gotta make my own doctor's appointments. What do I say? Like, I don't know, like, do I need to go physical checkup? So, stuff like this is kind of like, it's new to me because I'm getting older, but, shout out to Dr. Mo and Miss Mo, they helped me out with like all that health stuff like that. And I learned more stuff about health during the quarantine than I did in school. So I'm actually happy for that too as well.
Now, you already basically gave like the whole outline with the history on like why, African Americans in America don't really trust like a lot of the healthcare systems. And that was also another reason why I was hesitant to get the vaccine, because I know that the healthcare is trying to give reparations and do all of that with, African Americans, but it was just so much going on that, and especially the development of the vaccine and, just even health in general with the government plays a big part of trust that a lot of African Americans didn't have. But for me, again, my healthcare is also covered because my mom, she works at, a hospital. And, usually hospitals, they cover a lot of your health insurance within your family, if it's like you, your child, or your children. So it was also a little different for me. And, I'm covered. I have life insurance and I have health insurance. I go to the doctors regularly. As a matter of fact, I have a doctor's on Thursday that I have to go to. So it's like I get my regular checkups, and I do recommend that people also apply for Medicare when when the time rolls back around and you need to do all that stuff. So yes, do take care of yourself and, make the government pay for your health. Okay. You putting your taxes in, do it.
Yes, definitely. Jamira made a good point. She said hearing that a Black woman was a huge part of the process has helped me a lot. It made me trust it more. Yes, definitely. Definitely hearing that it was a lady that looked like me in the process of making this vaccine and in the help of the fight against COVID-19, it does make a difference. Seeing that representation of African Americans in the medical field is very important. Seeing others that look like me taking care of people who look like me is very important, and I'm glad that Jamira made that point.
Can I add one other piece in here, just for educational piece? I want to make
you're muted.
Thank you. Can you hear me now? All right.
Yeah.
So I was going to say an educational point. I want to make sure everyone understands this because I think it's really important. The vaccine was manufactured and came to be developed and put into arms a lot faster than anything we've done in the past in the medical field. But the main reason for that was that there were no steps that were skipped. The steps that we took were done in parallel. So instead of waiting for step 1 to be done to start step 2 in the process of testing vaccines, doing the safety checks, they did steps 1, 2, and 3 all at the same time. Now that was only because the way the vaccines are manufactured, the way they work is that when a company like Pfizer or Moderna comes up with the idea about a vaccine, they then have to go through the process of testing that vaccine in animals first, and then testing them in humans. And each of those steps has to go through a process by the FDA that they approve that the process is done correctly. So again, instead of waiting till that first process was done to start the next process, they did several processes all at the same time, so that when they got to the end of that 6 to 8 month period, all the processes were done and completed simultaneously. And they actually even started manufacturing the vaccine even before they were finished with all the studies. So that is the main reason why this vaccine was able to come about and be put in arms in a very short period of time. Now, the other part of that is just the technology has gotten better over years. And now that we have mRNA vaccines, it's a different type of technology than we used in the past for previous vaccines. But again, that whole process, we didn't skip any steps. There were lots of eyes looking over the shoulders of the folks that were making these vaccines. And they really reassured that it was done properly and done in an orderly fashion so that it would be safe. Because the worst thing that we could have would be to put a vaccine out there that causes problems, because we know we get one chance to mess up. So once we put something out there and people find that it's not working or it has a side effect, that vaccine is gone, which is pretty much where we're sitting with the AstraZeneca vaccine. No one wants it, at least not in the United States. Now, I still think it's a safe vaccine, but to convince someone to take that vaccine over the other vaccines, it's really, really going to be a really hard battle for us to convince people that it's worth it. So just want to put that out there so hopefully we can have a better idea of understanding of how and why we stand behind these vaccines.
Can I say something real quick about the vaccine? Because I think I joined at the very end, but I had the question. It's like, why are teenagers so hesitant to take the vaccine? I want to say like that social media also plays a big part in like in this vaccine. Not with me, but I know a couple of teenagers, because you find a lot of things social media where they say, "Oh, this vaccine is good for you. This one is not. This is side effects." And a lot of I want to say not just teenagers, but some adults too are carrying to be very young-minded, whereas though they'll put out, be like, oh, don't take this vaccine, you take this vaccine. You like some people like, oh, it's a chip inside of your body and stuff like that nature. So, you know, it's a lot of things that's been thrown to me in my knowledge about different vaccines and about the vaccine. So that's why I'm kind of more hesitant to take it, you know, but I am supposed to go see my doctor, I think tomorrow, and ask her, you know, basically just to check in, but just basically ask her like more about the vaccine, stuff like that, because it's a lot that I heard around, and I don't want to take, you know, the wrong one or just take it and I get the wrong side effect and stuff like that. So I want to be prepared for what I'm ready to take.
Can I also mention about that social media part? There's like this thing, y'all about to have your minds blown if y'all don't know about it. There's this thing on TikTok where they're putting quarters and magnets where people get vaccinated. And it's like sticking to them. And I know it's fake because I did it myself because, yes, I wanted to see if it was true. But it's fake. Like, that's also another thing. Social media is just trying to twist your mind up. And you know what they did? They probably put something sticky on it and just sticked it on there. So that way it looked like it was like a magnet. Because they was putting quarters, they was putting magnets, they was just putting anything. I'm sitting here trying to put like a tweezer that can hook on my refrigerator, on my arm. No, seriously, y'all. I did it yesterday because I was seeing it all over TikTok when I was scrolling. I was just like, they crazy.
And also I have a question for the people, or for the adults that know about the vaccines and everything. So I spoke to some different youth from social media, also personally. What was the situation? This is coming from them. What was the situation with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine? Because a lot of people want to know, like, because they saw some things on social media where, like, they said that don't take the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, this and third. So it was a lot of people that had asked about it and had asked for me to actually bring the question to y'all to see if there was any explanation about the whole Johnson & Johnson.
So I'll start with this one. First of all, my first piece of advice is make sure you understand your source of your information. Social media is probably one of the worst sources to go for good information, just because it's not vetted. It's not necessarily coming from individuals or qualified individuals. So there's some really good websites that actually are out there. You know, the CDC actually has very good information, whether you trust the government or not. It actually does have good information out there. If you're looking for another good website that I just like to tell people to go to about any kind of medical stuff, the Mayo Clinic has a really good website that has very good information on there too. So if you're looking for something, you want to kind of verify something or clarify something that someone said or you read, I'd start with those two websites to kind of say, hey, is this really true? I'm gonna look it up for myself. But going back to your question there, James, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, there were about 15 people after getting the Johnson & Johnson vaccine that ended up with a very rare condition that causes blood clots. And it's not the typical blood clot that you might have heard about from family members that had a blood clot. It's a special type of blood clot that occurred. And so when that happened, they decided, hey, let's put a halt on giving this vaccine until we do a little more research. Let's make sure that this is a safe vaccine, because like I said before, we know if we start giving out vaccines that aren't safe, everyone's going to say, hey, I'm done. You guys lied. You guys, said it was safe and it's not safe. So we wanted to, I'm saying we medical professionals wanted to put a halt on it and then take some more time to look at it, which they did. And they found that although it is true that a small percentage of people that got that vaccine did have this rare condition, it was a very, very small percentage. And so, for example, about 7 million people got that vaccine. And so 15 out of 7 million actually had this condition, which is, whether you're into numbers or you're into kind of statistics, that's a very, very low number of people. It's almost like 1 to 2 out of a million that actually ended up with this. So after doing those kind of additional studies, which took about another additional 2 weeks, they then put out another statement saying that, hey, we do think this vaccine is safe and we'd like to offer it, give it back out again to people. Again, I think it's going to be a big challenge to convince people that to take that vaccine, just because of the stuff because there was a small problem with it compared to the others. I personally still think it's still a very good vaccine and safe to take. But I do understand people's hesitancy because it is true that there was a small problem that appeared that did not appear with the other 2 vaccines that we have in the United States, the Moderna and the Pfizer.
I want to say something real quick before Cam speaks up. Hi, Cam. I do think as medical providers and as adults, we need to be really careful about what we say is the only place to get your information or your evidence from. And I know working with you all that social media is really important to you all, and it's something that you do use a lot. And yes, of course, just like the news, there's plenty of things that are on the news right now about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine or about different things like that that aren't necessarily accurate. And so you guys are smart enough to know that you have to kind of filter through things, but it's really, really important, I think, for us as adults and medical providers to not just tell you, well, only the CDC website or things like that. We have to be mindful of what your trusted sources are and speak to you all. So I know plenty of people who don't use social media who don't want Johnson & Johnson. And it's our jobs as medical providers to reach you guys where you're at and what you're comfortable with.
Thank you so much for answering my question. I really, really appreciate it. And everyone, welcome Camry. Hey, girl.
Hey, everybody.
So you can go and introduce yourself to the people. What you do.
Okay. Hey, everybody. My name is Cam Moses, and I prefer to be called Cam, so people don't mess up my name too much. They say Kamari and Cameron and everything like that. I like to keep it short, cute, Cam. I'm the creator of KOS Smoothies and the co-founder of Quarantine and Lights, as well as an ambassador on the Healing Youth Alliance is in the OG cohort. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. But hey, everybody.
Cam, can you share your thought process before you got the vaccine and kind of like after, and like just your experience with the vaccine as a young person?
Okay, so for me, before I even got the vaccine, I was kind of just contemplating, thinking. I've never been a person that really like feeds into everything that social media tells me. I kind of like trying to take it a step further, but also, listening to my community, because with Heart Smiles, we kind of have access to a whole bunch of different resources. So I'm like, you know what, listen to different town halls, like things like this and, other things and calls that we've been on. It made me kind of think a little bit deeper. And my mom kept pressing me about it. Like, she like, Cam, you want to get the vaccine? You not want to get it? Like, what do you want to do? You think we should all get it? Whatever the case may be. And I'm like, I don't know. I still was just contemplating, and I just realized, like, after the fact that I got it in I think January or February, I was like, that's not something I want to really experience again. And if I can kind of prevent it, I will do so. And I do have like a younger brother that's 4, and I was really scared for him when we got COVID. Me and my mom got COVID, and I couldn't taste the smell, and that kind of scared me too, because with the businesses that I did talk about, I need my taste and smell. So I just didn't want to experience that anymore. And it was really like a mental challenge for me instead of a physical one. Like, even though I lost my taste and smell, that's not what I was really worried about. It was the fact, like, thinking about being in isolation, but kind of in a negative way for 2 weeks wasn't really like the best feeling for me. So anything that I could do to prevent that, but also protect my family and the people that I connect with, is what I was going to do. So I chose to get the vaccine. My mom got it as well.
I'm so happy for y'all. I'm glad y'all found a way to settle y'all concerns and that y'all vaccinated and all that. I love when I say you get vaccinated, I was like, now I gotta get vaccinated, because it came to it, I can do it. But I really do want to get vaccinated. I'm just trying to convince my parents, hopefully, but I do want to get vaccinated. But I have a question for the professionals on the call. I want to know, like, what are the changes that y'all seeing within youth during the pandemic, like mentally, physically? What did y'all see change within us, like as a whole, individual use? Just kind of want to get y'all perspective in there too.
Go ahead, Miss Mia.
like me playing double dutch. So I've seen quite a bit. I do want to add, as we're kind of transitioning from the vaccine, that any education that you all get should liberate you. It should not make you feel bound. It should not, make you feel like, oh, I can't do something. Education should be freeing. And so whether it's from social media, you're welcome. That is a gift from my generation to yours. Or if it's from CDC or from Mayo Clinic, or if you went to a trusted doctor, that education should make you feel free, and you should feel free in making your decision. In terms of what I've seen kind of from a mental health perspective with children, I don't work with children on a regular basis in my individual work. But as a whole, I have seen that young people are experiencing a lot of symptoms around depression and anxiety. And so feeling isolated, feeling like they can't quite get focused because, school is now stuck in this box. In terms of youth development, we know that children kind of understand who they are based upon their friends. And so not being close to them was hard, even for my own son. There were several nights that he would have a breakdown. I can't see my friends, even though he was in school every day. It's just that his routine changed. He had to wear a mask. I can't be as close to people. They say I can't hug. There's nothing in this world that can replace a hug. You can buy all the weighted blankets you want. It's not a hug. And so I think that we have seen the increase of depression and anxiety. We have also seen just a lot, again, I can't say this enough, just an increase in the positivity. Once it was kind of like, we always talk about how children are resilient. We see that kind of as we push through the depression and the anxiety and the I don't know what's coming next, when there's a supportive parent there or a support system such as Heart Smiles, young people are able to kind of figure their way through. And so we've seen lots of, businesses. We've seen young people helping their families to heal. Like, something's not right in here. We need to go to group therapy. And so I'm really excited about seeing that as well.
Thank you, Miss Nia, for sharing. I love when you talk, and I miss having you. We miss you at Higher. I promise you we did. I always love when you talk about mental health. You really did help me, and you taught me so much about mental health, and you helped me through a lot. If you didn't know, just you educating me on mental health helped me a lot through my mental health struggles. So if anybody else on the call as a professional has something to say, Shalom, if you back, if you want to talk, you can.
No, I ain't got nothing to say. I just want to give a shout out to Miss Nia too, because she helped me a lot too in college. So yeah, thank you for that transition help.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Can I go? I mean, I'm no professional because you did outline no professionals. Okay,
yeah,
so
you talk. It's out. You stuff. Speak up. Yeah.
So during COVID, it was my whole 9th grade year got snatched. Me and Gemma's, I should say, our whole 9th grade basically got ripped away from us. So it was kind of like a hard transition. You going into high school and you trying to do your high school year. I mean, I'm glad the fact that I was able to still perform at my school because I go to school for dance. I'm glad I was able to make a friend. I have a friend of a lifetime that won't stop getting on my nerves. Okay. I love it. But it was when COVID was really starting to hit and we was all hyping up woo, some of us was happy going back in March. I mean, what was it? When did I say we was technically supposed to go back? April-ish, May. Then they was no, you're not going back. And I was dang. So that's when I'm not diagnosed with depression, anxiety. I'm not diagnosed with none of that. I've never went. I've always asked, can I go? Never. So I don't want anyone to think that I have. But I am going to say, based on what I've encountered, I did go through depressive moments. I lost weight, a ton of weight. My mom was about to put me into Shepherd Pratt because of the amount of weight I had lost from not eating. I did not want to eat. I was not up for anything. I stayed in my room, didn't care for anything, had a couple mental breakdowns here and there. That was that. And then since summer hit, July-ish, I was like getting it back. I was getting back to myself because I was going out more. I was seeing more friends that, you know, I was cool with, going out, staying out just a little bit more, just living a life a little bit. And then now it's not hitting back to what it was because I knew it was going to come back. I don't know if it's seasonal, but I'm starting to like really just like disappear from a lot of things. Like people texting me, a lot of people like, hey, you good? Like, girl, I just don't want to talk to nobody. I don't got time for nobody. Y'all getting on my nerves anyway. Like, I just been just chilling. So I think like Corona has really like, you know, shifted me in a way because like I don't have time for people. Like either I'm growing as a teenager going into adulthood, maybe that's it. I don't know. But it's more so like not being able to see a lot of people like I'm used to and be like this outgoing person that I am. I can't really do that because I'm an extrovert. Everyone that knows me, I'm an extrovert. I like doing things. I'm above and beyond. Like that's just me. Maybe a little bit too much where people get annoyed, but that's fine with me. And now I just moved myself into an introvert where like I'm kind of quiet. I don't really do too much. I'm barely kind of on social media now. I mean, I'm on there if I'm on TikTok because that's like home kind of now. Like forget Instagram. But, you know, it's kind of like COVID has definitely put a switch into me and a lot, also my friends too. I've noticed a lot of things where I became an empath, where I start feeling their feelings when they start feeling upset, like from far away. So it's like the youth now, we're shifting, and mental health has become a way more of a crisis than probably more than what it was. I'm not saying that it wasn't, because it was definitely bad, but it's definitely a crisis now because we are shifting and we're trying to shift into adults, and it's kind of bearing that we have to be at home during this pandemic, and then not only going through a lot of social things and social injustice going on in our communities that is also playing a role in the effect. Not only having, you know, sex trafficking also on high now, like that's like more self-bearing. Like my mom told me I could never get like a pepper spray. I walk down my way where I live, and it's a lot of sex offenders around here. I did my research. It's a lot of sex offenders. I brought some pepper spray because I'm 5'2" and I'm small. Okay, I cannot be sitting here unarmed, and I can't even carry because I'm not 21. So you're bogus if I'm not carrying something. So definitely COVID has definitely shifted a lot of us in probably the worst or best way possible.
Definitely. I agree with you, Lene. I definitely can relate to the whole like lack of eating because I was just home all the time. And I know some people may feel like, well, you home, you should be eating a lot more, but like my appetite has changed completely and it's still not right. Like I'm trying to get it on track now. Like Cam and her smoothies, they be getting me. They be getting me. So like just little things like that can really make a difference in how you act day to day. Me not eating enough affected my emotions. It would make me just feel down. I just wouldn't feel like getting up, and it's because I didn't have nothing in my stomach. It can't move on an empty stomach. So definitely your physical and your mental health are tied together. And with that being said, we're closing. We're about to close out soon, y'all. We gotta announce our winners for these prizes, but we want to leave y'all with some positive options and just some positive thoughts on your mind. So feel free for y'all to chime in, but I'm gonna just give y'all the things that I had down. So go outside, get some fresh air. Stepping outside on the porch, checking the mail every day is like the highlight of my day if I'm not going somewhere. So definitely go out, wear your mask, of course, stay safe, follow guidelines, and if you're vaccinated and all that, the new stuff, I don't know it, but look it up and figure it out. Be safe, but get outside, smell the air, feel the trees, feel the grass, like get outside, see some friends if you possibly can, like please go outside, and it's so important. And in addition to that, what Ken said about the sip and paint is find your hobby. During this pandemic, I've started painting and a lot of other stuff, but finding something to occupy your free time with is important. You can paint, run, draw, read, write, anything that is positive, I recommend. Smoking is not. Vaping, all of the negative stuff, don't do it. It's really not worth it. It harms your body and takes a toll out you. It's digging into your pockets. It's affecting your mental and your physical. I do not recommend it at all. And if you do it, you need to stop immediately. If not, and you need help, you can always reach out to me. I'm pretty sure anybody on this call and any other help that you can reach out to Heart Smiles for if you are struggling with any type of substance abuse. But yes, find your hobbies and just get into a lot more positive things. And if you feel like you do need extra help, find a therapist. Find a trusted therapist that you are comfortable with. Don't go to anybody that you're not comfortable with, or find a close friend that you know that you can confide in, and y'all both can share your experiences and just be there for each other. You might can find a support group of something of that nature. Reaching out and finding help is always important, and talking about your emotions is always important as well. Try new things and always be welcome to building connections and just networking with people, because being isolated in our homes, it has really took a toll on probably everyone's communication skills, and that's something you need in life. So get out and talk to people and introduce yourself, like how we did on this call. Like simple introductions can probably change your whole life. So those are just my things, and everybody else on the call can probably give their little last remarks and any other final feedback.
Don't forget to drink water, kids. Do not forget to drink water. Please drink water. Anyway,
shout out. Go ahead, James. Okay, real quick. My last little remark. Shout out to James and Gemma for basically hosting this awesome event. You guys have basically hosted it, and basically bring us in to let us learn more about mental health, and having a lot of these professional medical people come in and basically talk to us and just join the conversation. Big shout out to you guys. I want to say also, like they said, drink water, find your hobbies. I know Camry and Elder made a whole business in the whole quarantine. Like, you guys can make businesses, you guys can create hobbies, you guys are awesome. Just keep doing things that basically make positive, also be productive, be with no broke energy. And yeah, join Heart Smiles Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Winter Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right on Instagram. Just come be more productive, y'all. Thank you guys.
My last remark would be definitely shout out to James and Gemma, because y'all definitely killed it. Y'all always got good energy, positive energy. So y'all definitely killed this event. And y'all had it. We was real engaged. So it's been like 30 people average this whole time. So really proud of y'all. But I will also say that enjoy and celebrate those small moments that y'all go through. So like if you ate breakfast this morning, you don't usually do that. Like celebrate that. Like celebrate every single thing that you do and you feel like you've accomplished even a little bit of something, because COVID has kind of taught us that, we never know what will happen. Like one day in March, things just changed and now we in a pandemic and got to wear a mask and everything like that. But, just celebrate those small things. So those would be my last remarks.
Oh, and one more thing before everyone else finish. We are also having a youth summit, so I'm about to drop the link in the chat for everyone to register. Because cohort 2, we're going to the conversation. Yeah. So I dropped the link in the chat for everybody to go register and get your tickets for the show. We are having it on the 22nd. Does everybody be there?
Definitely. If y'all love more youth hosts and youth events, this is definitely the next thing to be to. It is this Saturday at 12. The link in the chat is where you register at. You register, get your ticket. They're going to send you the link and how to get on and all that. You're going to be talking with the mayor. This is where you build your connections at. This is where you network. Get out there, use your voice as a youth and be a representative and just speak out about how you feel. And it's about where you live at, Baltimore City. So, you know the best you live here. So definitely register if you're interested. I promise you're going to find something to say at the meeting. But if anybody else has any closing remarks, let's get to it.
Absolutely ditto to everybody who said amazing job, Gemma and James. Oh, okay. And sorry. My closing remark is to affirm yourselves and each other. So those positive things that you want to feel about yourselves, we got to change the way that we think. It changes the way that we act. It then changes the way in which we show up in the world. And so affirm yourself each day. And then affirm your fellow man, your fellow brother, sister, friend, cousin, all of them. affirm them and help them to get through, because you never know how your positive words might help somebody feel better.
I guess I can go with my little last remarks. Mine is, just do what you feel is best for your own self. Don't let no one dictate your life. Don't let social media dictate your life. Just living your own truth and living, yourself, not others. Just something like small. You don't need to be huge and extravagant if you're not. If it's not you, then it's not you.
I'll just
say
add,
one last comment.
Great job, guys. I
You
was
can
just going
go.
to say great job. And thanks for sharing your space with us as always. This is your space and you always so graciously welcome us into it. And so thank you for that. And just keep pushing and challenging us and keep speaking up, because you guys make the world a better place when you do that.
Yeah, I'll agree with Dr. Mo. It was really awesome being invited here to just hear what you guys had to say about some of your interactions with the healthcare world. I know it can be really confusing, and we want to try to break down those barriers to make it not that way for you. And Deanna Tran, one of our pharmacists, put kind of our hotline number that her and I run to answer questions about COVID vaccine. So it's like a real person that you get to talk to if you ever wanted to call that. We're happy to answer those questions. And thank you so much again for inviting us.
Yes, I think that was everybody. So thank you all for coming out. It was an honor to have y'all here, all these professionals. I didn't know it was going to be this many panelists. I saw I only emailed like 3 or 4 people, but thank you all for coming out. It definitely means a lot to me and James. We put a lot of effort into this. I was surprised to see Ms. Nia and Dr. Mo. So thank you for the youth panelists that came on. I definitely appreciate y'all support and y'all just voices on here instead of just in the chat. And I appreciate the people in the chat as well. Y'all dropped a lot of good information and it will be used and taken into consideration. I'm glad everybody used this opportunity to express themselves and that it was a safe space and people were saying it was therapeutic. So I'm glad that we got to provide that for y'all. And James is going to announce the raffle winners of who getting money, which y'all shouldn't get.
Yeah, y'all shouldn't be able to get it, but we're gonna be nice. You're gonna be generous. So for our first question, so it was looking to find out after looking through the chat, y'all didn't do y'all job, but the 2 top main people. So first, we're gonna do first and second place. So our first place winner is Charles. Give a round hand for Charles. Yeah, man, you did that. Sure. And our second place winner is Dante. Let's get it cracking. Right after the live, y'all, we will contact y'all both so y'all can receive your prize. And of course, the last person to speak, the headmistress herself, Miss Joni. Come on up, girl. Let's see what you got to say, girl. Come on up.
Don't do that. Thank you so much. Hey, this was such an amazing conversation, such an important conversation. And I thank you, James, as well as you, Gemma, for really leading the way and guiding us through this important conversation. And I know that this is just the start of these types of conversations. So I'm looking forward to the next ones. And thank you so much to all of the adults who participated today. And of course, Cam, Lene, Coach Johnson. Appreciate y'all coming through as always.
So far, guys, that's the end. I'm so sad to end it because we was giving y'all some good stuff. We was giving y'all some good tea.
It's time to go, man. And I don't know what y'all talking about. Some closing remarks. We drop jewels around here. I think Charles was the only one in the comments like, my jewel is. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Somebody know y'all some closing. I'm like, what is that?
So y'all can drop some jewels if y'all like.
We done.
It's not even closing remarks. No, we can't be doing that. Gotta soak in all the love. Soak in all the love that we got here.
I think we dropped.
We definitely did.
All right, we'll see y'all. I see y'all next time then. Bye.
All right, putting us off here.
I didn't even do my jewel.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know you had one. I thought you had a closing remark.
No.
It's
No,
quotation
my jewel for today is to always be open to new opportunities. Because this is a new opportunity for me, and I'm glad that I took it, because I was thinking I couldn't do it at first, but I'm glad I did it. So always be open to new opportunities and new things. And let me get off here. Miss Joni forced me off. But today, thank y'all for having me. See y'all.
Bye.
See y'all. All right. See y'all. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Hey, I was about to be like, hi, James, in the comments, talk about all the way from Florida. That must be my sis. What's up, sis? How you feeling? Hey, yo, this was so amazing. This was so great. And look, y'all, these conversations continue. And not just around COVID and the pandemic, very important topic, but we got other topics coming up too. And if it's a topic that's important to you, that you want to talk about from a youth perspective, please let us know. We can put that in the lineup. We got all of the youth perspective town hall conversations happening right here. So look, you got to make sure that you hit the link to subscribe. So every time we go live, you go here and you get that notification. And thank you to my Facebook people for tuning in as well. Y'all make sure that y'all hit the like so that you can get the notification. But the next one coming up is around domestic violence, y'all. Yeah. Why we even got to address that in a youth situation, man, it's a heartbreaking situation, but it is very real. And it's something that needs to be talked about. So we're going to be talking about domestic violence right here. Y'all already know. So be looking out for the flyer that's going to be coming out. And y'all already know what I'm about to say. Yeah, this ain't one of the regular events, but y'all know what I'm about to say. It still apply. It's still some working time out there, yo. Go be productive. Go do something that's connected to your goals. Go do something that's connected to your version of success. And if you learn some new information tonight, if you learn something new, go apply it. Like, build on top of that. That's just what this is about. And if you about to do something when you get off this live that's not connected to your goals, that's not connected to your version of success, like, yo, just don't do it. This is where your discipline got to kick in, and you got to buckle yourself down and really discipline yourself to work on something that's productive, something that's going to help you and your future goals. And yo, and if you ain't got no goals, don't even holler at me at that point, yo. Holler at Charles. Holler at Mr. Elaborate. Holler at Cam Gotti, yo. Somebody, because that should be what you working on then, getting you some actual goals if you ain't got no goals. But look, y'all already know what it is, man. I'm about to be out of here. What we got tomorrow popping on Winning Wednesday. If you rocking with us tomorrow for Winning Wednesdays, we'll see you here tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Y'all know what it is. I'm out of here.